I feel like the immune system is so highly plastic in childhood that it's a great opportunity to intervene. And a lot of the issues we're seeing in adults now, perhaps we could have, if we had the knowledge earlier, we could have done something. So I think it's really about those first 1,000 days. So that's from conception to 2 years of age. And then upstream of that, the mother's health going into conception. I'm sure there's definitely some evidence for the father's health as well. But I guess if we focus on the mother, there's a lot of things around having adequate nutrition, having a good body composition during that conception period. There's some evidence for the omega-3s, so these fats they're important for the membranes of our immune cells. They're also the raw materials for that inflammatory resolution. There's some evidence for this being really important in the mother and in the first couple of years of life. And there's growing evidence for probiotics being used. I think really it comes down to the mother having her gut microbiome in sort of the best state it could be, because you're going to pass on those microbes to the child. And we know that, and I don't want to scare anyone, I'm also a mother, so I know there's a lot of anxiety about trying to do everything right, but that the way that you're coming into the world, so what type of birth you're having, which is seeding the baby with the microbes from the mother, if they're having a vaginal delivery, is kind of the best way to set the baby up for success. There's definitely differences in children that are born by cesarean section in terms of the types of microbes that are colonizing them. Particularly the bifidobacteria seem to be very important. So in early life, we actually don't see a healthy microbiome as being really diverse, and that's different in adulthood, as we can go on to discuss. But it's really those bifidobacteria seem to be really important in training and educating this adaptive immune response, so we don't have the skewing towards a Th2, which is this sort of allergic response. So we really want to give the right microbial inputs. And this is a huge part of shaping our immune system, both as adults and as children. And the other thing is breast milk and those specific sugars that are in breast milk that are just there to cultivate the microbes in the gut. So these are, again, sort of the fertilizer, giving that baby's gut the right environment to grow the right microbes. And then these microbes are up close and personal with immune cells located along the digestive tract. And we have a huge amount of immune tissue along our digestive tract. They estimate like 70 to 80% is located there. And they're constantly in crosstalk. And we know that these microbes are educating and training immune cells, sort of setting the rheostat so that they are in the right position to respond in an appropriate way. So these are kind of the really big inputs. But then once the baby's born, and obviously breastfeeding lasts for whatever amount of time, but you have all those other exposures. Some very early studies showed that this concept of the hygiene hypothesis, so babies that are exposed to farm animals, live in rural communities, more siblings, more exposure to dirt and benign germs in the environment, tend to go on and have less allergies and immune-related problems. We've updated the hygiene hypothesis, so it's more reflective of what's really going on, and it's less about hygiene. So public hygiene is really important, washing your hands, all those kind of things play a role. But it's more that we need certain good microbes to give those inputs into our immune system in early life so it gets off on the best trajectory. So we now, there's a chap called Graham Rook who has come up with this reduced biodiversity theory, or sometimes called the old friends theory, where we're missing these good microbes in early life, and some of that is going to be problematic for the future development and health and balance of our immune system. And I think that there's only so much maybe that we can do